Hello guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'll be showing you guys how to make a very fluffy homemade akara, also known as akara Ndi-Igbo. This is actually my mom's recipe and she will be joining me in the kitchen today. Saturdays in a typical Igbo family, especially mine, isn't complete without hot akara for breakfast, and I'm very sure some of you can relate. So please stay tuned. So I already prepped my ingredients. I'm using 3 medium-sized sweet or white onions and some scotch bonnet peppers. So here is my already peeled beans. I made use of the white beans. It's supposed to be perfect for akara. So next I'm going to be pounding the onions and pepper together. Since I'm sharing the traditional recipe for akara, I'll be making use of my mortar. Please feel free to use a food processor or manual blender so that the pepper and onions can still retain its rough texture. So when I'm done with this, I'm just going to set it aside. After this, the next step is to blend my beans. So there are a few key details to note while blending your beans, so please pay attention as this can make or spoil your akara. First, you need a very strong blender that can blend stuff without adding too much water. This is because akara is not too forgiving like moi moi and hence requires very little water. Secondly, if you don't have a strong blender at home, you can patronize the commercial ones in the local market, but make sure to emphasize on how little the water should be. So the secret to having a very nice beans puree is by adding your water little by little. You don't want to add a lot of water at once. You just want to put it in little by little until your beans is well blended and very smooth. So I'm done blending my beans and I'm going to pour the content into another bowl. So I'm blending my beans in batches, and you want to do that so that you reduce the workload on your blender. So just try and blend your beans in batches. So this is the first batch in a new bowl, and I'm just going to start with the second batch. So next, I'm going to empty the content of my mortar and just put everything into a bowl. So now that I'm done emptying my mortar, there's no need to wash it. So I'm just going to put my beans puree inside my mortar. I'm just going to pour all of it in. I want you guys to notice how thick and well blended my beans puree is. So this is the consistency you must have. So this stage is very critical and determines whether your akara will be flat and sink in your ocean of oil, or be very fluffy and rise like a phoenix from the ashes, if you know what I mean. So you want to stir your beans puree or batter like so at a very good speed. You can use a pestle like this, or a hand whisk, or an electric mixer. Before I got my electric mixer, I always use pestle while making my akara. So turn this in a circular motion at a very good speed. So you want to continue mixing your bean puree. So I'm switching to my electric mixer because I don't need to stress myself since I've paid good money for this electric mixer. But if you don't have an electric mixer, please continue using the pestle till your batter is fluffy and somewhat swollen and has risen. So I'll be transferring some of the batter into another bowl. Same way I blended my beans, the same way I'm going to be frying my akara. I'm going to do so in batches. So I'm just going to add a little of the pepper I pounded, and I'm going to add some salt. Please make sure you sprinkle little salt and taste before adding more salt. You don't want to have a salty akara. Then just mix everything together like so. So this is the last stage of this recipe. First, you need a tablespoon, that is spoon you use to eat. The size of your spoon will determine the size of your akara. Please avoid spoons that has too much depth. You want something that has a similar shape with your tablespoon and a very short handle like your tablespoon too. Lastly, make sure to use a deep frying pan. So I've been heating up my oil for about 5 minutes or so. So you want to start by putting in a small batter in your frying oil. If the batter comes up immediately, it means the oil is hot enough. Please make sure the heat is medium so that the akara can cook properly. So I'm going to be pouring in my batter one by one. So you can see why having a spoon with a short handle, why it is so necessary. It allows you to handle the spoon very well. I mean, you have like really close contact with the frying pan, and it's very easy for you to pour the content in the frying pan. So your akara is supposed to float like this, and if your akara is too small, you can just add a bit of the batter on top. It's perfectly fine, just like I did. So my akara is ready, and I'm just going to pat it down so that the excess oil can just come out, and I'll be getting ready to prepare my next batch. So before you put in your next batch, make sure you just give your batter a quick stir, especially if your batter is looking flat. You want to incorporate some air into your batter to make it fluffy, okay, like I explained in the video. So guys, welcome to the end of this video. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, please, and check out more content on my YouTube channel. I'm sure you'd see something that you'd like. Also, please, you can ask me any questions or let me know what you think about this recipe in the comment section. Bye.